learn to play the most popular bagpipe tune on the practice chanter, and that's Scotland the Brave. And you can learn to play it with all the technique. This is a 5-day challenge where I'm going to take you through the first 2 measures, or the first 2 parts of Scotland the Brave, and take you through all the embellishments and make sure you get the right technique for playing Scotland the Brave, the tune that everybody knows and asks for when they hear you're playing the chanter. And if you like this video, just look in that description below the video. You'll see a link for my 3-step guide. It's completely free, a 3-step guide to help get you bagpipe ready. Now, this first day of our 5-day Scotland the Brave challenge, this first day we're going to go through the Torluith, which is our first embellishment in Scotland the Brave. And I'm just going to play for you the first 2 measures, or the first 2 parts of Scotland the Brave here. And it's by far the most common part of the song that most people will recognize. So this is what we're going to go through. This is what you'll have at the end of the 5-day challenge. Okay, I play it just a little bit extra there. So I'll do that again. Oh no, pardon me, I didn't play quite enough. You get even a bit more in these 5 days. So that's what we're going to go through in the 5 days. It's even a bit more than I originally thought, and it might seem overwhelming right now, but we're going to really chunk it down. And 1 block to do today, the Torluith, we'll add in another block each day, and by the end of those 5 days, you're going to get it. And now, let's just dive in here. So where are we starting? We're going to start on the high E. So if you're completely new to the practice chanter, your bottom hand is your right hand, top hand is your left hand. There's 9 holes in total, 8 holes on the front, 1 hole on the back at the top. Starting from the bottom is your pinky finger of your right hand, going up, each finger covers a hole. On the top hand, starting with your ring finger on the bottom hole, going up, each finger covers a hole in the top hand, and the top hand, your thumb on the back, has to cover a hole as well. We don't want your fingers curled, we want them more flat and straight, and your thumb on the bottom hand, rather than being up too high, is more under your middle finger, so you can get a little bit of rotation as you move through that bottom hand, a little bit of rotation through your wrist. If you're sore in your wrist, you're probably holding too stiff. So that's a quick overview of fingering. Now let's look at what that high E is. So we're on the E, so when we're playing the top hand notes, our pinky is up on the bottom hand. Our E note, our ring finger is up on the top hand. So that's our E note. If it's sounding kind of weird, some squeaks, some squawks maybe, just watch and look at your fingers, make sure they're kind of covering all the holes they need to, and then try again. And then from there, we're going to do a G grace note down to low A. This is a super common, G grace note is by far the most common grace note in bagpipe tunes, so it's a really good one to get at. The G grace note is going up and down, our top finger on our top hand. So that's our G grace note, but the tricky part, we're going to do that G grace note as we go down to low A. So that finger here on the bottom finger of the top hand has to go down as that top finger of the top hand lifts up. And you can hear it adds a lot more than just simply dropping down a note. That's no grace note. Again, here's the G grace note. It just brings that decisiveness, that power that the bagpipes have from our grace notes, from all our embellishments. That's why they're so important to learn, and you need to get that technique right. So with the technique for this grace note, with this transition, we're actually in slow motion. We're going to lift that top finger first, and then the bottom finger comes down and catches its hole. And then that G, that top finger, is the last to come down. That's slow motion, but it is going to speed up so it happens almost simultaneously. And it can help to not really try to lift this finger way too far off the hole, because then it has to come all the way back. So it just has to lift just a little bit. And that'll help give it that sound. So that's the G grace note. Down to low A, and next we have our Torluith, which is a great name, a great Scottish sounding name. So in this Torluith, it's one movement, but it's quite a complex movement, and we're actually going to get introduced to the other two grace notes, the D and the E. So there's a lot going on in that Torluith. What's happening here? First, we're dropping down to low G from the A by bringing our pinky finger down onto the bottom hole. And then we do a D grace note. So that's the top finger of the bottom hand. And during that D grace note, we're not transitioning, changing notes anywhere. We're just staying on that low G. And then from that low G, we're going to go up to the low A by lifting that pinky, but we're getting there by a E grace note now. So the E grace note is the ring finger. That's our E grace note, and we're going to get up to the low A using the E grace note. That's the slow motion one. Slow motion, that ring finger comes up on the top hand, the pinky's coming up, ring finger's going down. That's kind of the slow motion version, but we do want to eventually kind of get that simultaneous. And as we mentioned before, these grace notes, you don't have to lift really, really high like I might be doing for the camera so you can watch at home. It just has to lift a little bit, but make sure you clear that hole all the way nonetheless. So let's bring that Torluith all together again. So there you have it. You have a Torluith, which gives you a D and E grace note. You've done the G grace note. Look at you, you've already got like three embellishments figured out already, because that Torluith is really a 2-in-1 deal. And let me just play what we got so far in this first lesson, our first day challenge, and you'll kind of see how that sounds. So that's the first day challenge of Scotland the Brave. Again, I'm calling it day challenges, but you might find you can run through all these videos in one day. You might find each day challenge might take you a week or maybe 2 or 3 weeks. That's okay. Stick with that first challenge until your fingers have it figured out. And it's going to take that repetition, but you're going to get it. You can play Scotland the Brave. You can play it with embellishments. When someone says, oh, you're learning the pipes, can you play that Scotland the Brave? And you can say, yes. 5 days after this 5-day challenge, you can say, yes, I can do this. That's what you're going to be able to show them after all these challenges are done. And it's going to be a 5-day challenge. This has been the first day. If you found this helpful, if you want to get Bagpipe Ready, just look below this video. You'll see the description, and you can click and get my free Get Ready to Bagpipe guide. It's a 3-step guide, and can't wait to see you in the next challenge. This has been Alec from Get Bagpipe Ready, and bye for now.